So this is just a quick demo of running driverless AI mojos with KDB and ticker plant. So basically there are just a couple dependencies that you'll need. One is Java, JDK8 is good, as well as the H2O.ai Python client for driverless AI. Now, before we begin, basically the expectation here is that there is a couple things already set up and running. So one is that there's a driverless AI installation already running. So in this case, you can take a look. There's a driverless AI server launched already. I also have a driverless AI or server for KDB also running on the same host, as well as a KDB ticker plant already running on the same host. So there's some things that have already been started up. Now, the KDB server is all set up right now using this Docker image, which is just very lightweight. All it contains is some demo data and basically exposes the required ports as shown above so that we can access it. So first thing you would do is you would install the Python client if you haven't already. If you have, then you'll get the response that I got back, which is that all the things were already, all requirements were already satisfied. Next, you're going to initialize the Python client. So in this case, we're creating a Python client that's accessing our driverless AI server running at this URL with these usernames and passwords, right? And then next, what we can do is actually import data directly from the KDB server. So there are a couple things that you have to kind of set up first, which is inside the driverless AI config.toml. And basically what this is it says that for KDB, driverless AI should look at a specific host and a specific port number. And that we have to actually enable KDB as one of the enabled file systems. So if I take a look at my driverless AI server here, I can actually go to add dataset and there's KDB right at the bottom. And if I enter a file name test.csv and a query, I can actually click to make the query and it will send the request to the existent KDB server and then download the necessary data. So we can check back on this in just a second. This is select from tab is just for some demo data, just as a proof of concept, or proof that of what is going on. So if you actually take a look here, we can actually do the same thing in the KDB server. So select from tab, and you can actually see the response back. It's just some generic fake data, and this may take just some time. But essentially, that's what's going on. So here what I have is two calls to actually ingest the correct data set. So I have on the KDB server, I have two different data sets, Walmart test and Walmart train. And basically, that's what we're selecting. So if I do run here, what this is going to do is actually run the commands to actually ingest the data from the two tables in KDB. Okay, so once this is done, you can do another thing, which is actually, this is basically setting up the experiment. So after we've ingested the data, the next step is to run an experiment on it, right? So basically what you do here is you're actually creating some tuning suggestions for the actual experiment using the specific data sets that we just generated here. And then basically after that, we're going to run an experiment. So we're going to do that really quick. So just in case you're curious, these are the two data sets that we had initially, or that we initially ingested, and these are the new ones that we just ingested with our command just now. And you'll actually be able to take a look and see that there's another experiment running, and it'll take about 40 seconds to complete. But this is the experiment that we just ran. So once this is done, then we can actually build a new Mojo scoring pipeline and then download it into the local file system for us to use. So I'm just going to queue these up so that they can run. And you can see that right now we're scoring the final pipeline for the experiment, and it's almost done, essentially. Just in case you're curious, the data set that the test data set that we had queried earlier just appeared. So this is it was a background process. So basically what we do is background the process until it's done, and then pull that final data set in. And that's all in the background, so you can kind of do multiple things at once, and it'll complete in the end. So you can see now we're building the final scoring pipeline, and that would coincide with these guys here, right? Now, once this is downloaded, so now I've downloaded to a specific directory here, the Mojo, but basically what you'll end up with is a zip file, right? And once you unzip the file, you'll see that there's a couple objects, including a pipeline.mojo. Now, this is the most important part, is the pipeline.mojo, because that's what we're going to ask our Java jar file to use as part of the process to run. So if you take a look here, there's a couple things, but basically, as long as you have this jar file, H2O.ai DAI KDB mojo subscriber.jar, you can actually run that as a command, and this will actually go through the process of running the subscriber for making new predictions and submitting those new predictions to another table that has already been predefined inside our ticker plant. So you can see Walmart new pred and Walmart tick. So I run this, and what you'll see here is that basically it's asking for a license file. This is because the Mojos require a license file. So if I do export, that should work, and then so you can see now that we're actually writing out new predictions from a Mojo into the ticker plant. Now there's another kind of final command, which is this one right here, and this command is basically saying it's just to show that the new predictions are coming in. So if I go to a new shell here, I can run this. And what you're seeing is as the new predictions are created, they appear in the ticker plant, which is then subscribed to by this new subscriber. So you get the new data populating into the shell at the moment, which is just because I'm having it print out to the shell. But this could be something where you actually have this as another Q query to go do something else, or maybe write it to an RDB, so on and so forth. So that's just the quick demo of how we can deploy Mojos using KDB and subscribe to the KDB ticker plant.